Hello, welcome back. Now in this video we're going to finally get to learn a few formulas. Excel, the glory of Excel comes from its formulas. Now I've written down a few simple formulas that can be used over numbers over here. You see, I've written 5 of these. The first one is sum, then there's average, count, max and min. Now these are really simple formulas and they're mathematical formulas, and I can assume that you know what these mean simply by reading them. The sum formula will simply sum the numbers, and average will find the average. The count will, what will the count do? Well, I'll tell you. So this is how you write. See, count, it shows you here. It says count the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. That's what the count formula does. Now, what does the max do? It finds the maximum within a range of numbers, and the minimum finds the minimum within a range of numbers. How do we use them? Simple. Now, how do you write a formula? First, you have to put the equal sign. See, the equal sign is on the top right side of your keyboard. You put the equal, then you write the formula. So I'll write SUM, and see, Excel shows you many formulas that fit the same character. So sum adds all the numbers in a range of cells. Now how do you sum it? You have to, after writing the formula, open bracket and just select all. See, I'm using my left click pressed over all these numbers, and then I see what I've got here. I've got D2, now this colon D10. This means all numbers in the range beginning in D2 and ending in D10. Now this one you see is column D ranged row 2, so that's D2, and similarly this is D10 over here, and that's what I want to add. And I'll close my bracket and I press enter. See, it's added it. That's exactly what we've got here as well, using a different formula, but sum formula also gives you the same value. Now if I want to write the sum formula here as well, I could simply write it again, sum this time, but it has to go from E2 to E10, right, like this, and I press enter. It's 28 again. But let me show you another trick of doing it. So I'll just undo what I have done here, and see, I already wrote the formula here, and it says, you can read here in the formula bar, sum D2 to D10 here. Now here I want the same, but it just the range has to shift from D to E. So the way to do it is very simply, I'll just click on this and I go to the bottom right side. You see, I get this black colored plus sign. I'll hold my left click and I'll drag it to the right side and leave it, and you see what it's done is it's applied my formula from the left side to the right side. So the formula here was sum D2 to D10, but the formula on the right side is sum E2 to E10. But what has happened is that the formatting has also been copied, but I don't want this currency formatting. So what I will do is I'll go to the home tab. Now this cell is selected and I'll get this clear option. I'll just clear the formatting of this, and see, I'm back here. Simple. Now same, if I go on this average, I want the average salary. So I'll press the average formula, and I want this to be also from D2 to D10, and I'll do this and gives me the average salary. Similarly, I want to count how many numbers are in this. Well, this range is entirely numbers. So what I'll do this time is I'll go from D1. You see, D1 is this cell which says salary. That's not a number. And from D1, I'll go to D10. Look what happens. It gives you 9 only. So in this D1 to D10, there are 10 cells. It automatically counted that this first one is not a number, so it will not count this, but the other 9 are numbers, so it shows 9 here. And same for max. I just go max and I'll write D2 to D10, gives you 35,000 for John here. And for min, the same thing, D2 to D10, and shows you it's 17,000. Now to copy these formulas to the right side, I simply select all this. See, I can, I can copy 4 formulas at the same time. I can copy as many formulas as I like at the same time. I just select all of them, and again I wait for this black arrow and I bring this to this side, and look here. Now what's happening here is that it's copied the formulas, but at the same time it's also copied the formatting again. Now what you could do, you see, when you simply, for the first time when you copy it, no, you get this option here, autofill options it's called. So you click on this, you get these options. You can do fill without formatting. When I do that, see, your formulas remain, but the formatting is not copied. So which is a good option, that's what we want actually. Now what's happening here is that max and min is fine, minimum is 0, maximum is 8, that's okay, count is again 9, but the average has come out to be 3.111. Now since this is sick leaves, okay, now leaves can't be 0.111, right? What do? We have to round this figure. So there's a formula for rounding as well. So what you can do is, I'll show you the formula. It goes equals round, see, rounds to a number, to a specified number of digits. So I'll round this number, I'll select this, round E13, and I want it to be rounded to 0 decimals. So I'll do that and I'll click enter. See, it's rounded it to 0 decimals, which is 3. Now if I change the formula, I'll go to this formula bar here. Now instead of 0, number of digits, if I say give me 2 decimals, click on this, it's made it 3.11. Simple as that. But now I want to keep it, because it's sick leaves, it has to be 0. I'll keep it like that. Now, but all your formulas are here. Why is this one there? Now let me show you another neat trick. You see, this formula, if you look here, is only average E2 to E10. But what you can do is, you can put this inside another formula. How do you do that? Well, let me show you over here. What I'll do is, I'll cut this. Now I'll write round. What does it have to round? It has to round the output of this formula, average E2 to E10, and round it to 0 decimals. You see, here instead of doing it the average formula first and then adding the round formula to it, in one go I have added the output of average formula directly to the round formula, and I've got my output. So these are some basic functions, basic formulas that you can use in Excel, and you have to understand the basic syntax of using a formula. You see, sum, average, count, these are the simple formulas. Now if you want to, there's several formulas in Excel, okay, you can do pretty much everything you want with numbers in Excel. I'll show you some more formulas in our next course, in the advanced Excel course. But just for now, to revise the syntax, how do you write a formula? You simply, first, let's just open this up, write this. The equal to is how Excel knows that this is a formula. Otherwise, see, I'll show you what happens. If I just write sum E2 to E10, it does nothing. It just stays there as text. But the moment I put an equal sign in front of it, see, it becomes a formula. You can see the color changes here. Without this, it stays as text. But with this, suddenly it changes the color, and that's how Excel knows it's a formula. And then first you write the formula name, you open the bracket, you put whatever values have to go inside the formula, and then you close the bracket, press enter, and your formula is entered. That's how formulas in Excel work. Basic introduction. We'll cover more formulas in later videos, but give a practice to these formulas first, just so you get the basic syntax right. I'll see you in the next video.